So this portal, we will provide the authentication. So only authorized user, it can be student, staff, or your lecturer. Once they log in, they can see the list of all your subscribed database. Okay, and we can change the logo and then the color to look similar to your library webpage. Okay. And just like what I mentioned, so because it's hosted in AWS, so we guarantee an uptime of 99.9% uptime, and also not worry about all the HTTPS IP and also all the maintenance. So everything is covered by the team from RemoteXS. And apart from that, also we'll provide you with a detailed usage, which I can show you later on the live demo. Okay. So I'll just go through this few PowerPoint, and now I'll bring you to the live site. Before this, do you have any questions?
No, at the moment.
Okay. All right, can you see my website? Okay. So let me log out first. So I can see here is your university library page. All right. So what we will do, we will create a similar page here. So this is our iGroup demo site, and your user, staff, student, lecturer, once they log in, then they will see the list of database that's subscribed by your university here. So this is our demo account. So obviously we can change the color, the logo to look like your library web page. So over here, we'll list out all the database that's subscribed. So I can see that currently you have subscription to Emperor, Cambridge, JSTOR, Nature, Oxford, Progress, Sage, Springer, Dale & Francis, and Wiley. So we can list out all of them here. So once you log in here, one thing good is that on the right hand side, you can see there's some announcement. So this announcement can be made by the librarian. You do not need to know any coding. You can just fill up a form, and then it will pop up here in the announcement. It can be an introduction for a trial or a new database, or you can introduction to a librarian. So you can put it up here as well. And for every user, once they log in, they can set some of the database as their favorite. We also can list out the journal and also the ebook subscribed by your institution. So for example, if I want to set Biomed Central as a favorite, I can click on the star button on the left hand side. Once I click on it, let me refresh the page. So once I refresh the page, and you can see that in my favorite database here on the right hand side panel here, I can see Biomed Central will be one of my favorite database. Okay, so your user, once they log in, they can just click on the database being subscribed by institution. For example, I click on annual review. All right. So RemoteXS is using the URL rewriting proxy technology. You can see that right now the URL is www.annualreview.org.igroup.remoteXS.xyz, and you can see access is provided by iGroups, so it's being authenticated. So we work with over 90% of the publisher, worldwide publisher. So as long as the publisher can accept IP authentication, we can work with them. So I can see that, let me go back here to the library web page. So all the just now the subscribed journal or database that's here, so we will be able to handle all this database, no problem. Okay, so if I click on another example again, so for example like EBSCO or Emperor. Okay, you can see that it's being authenticated as well. So this is one of our customer that is given our IP to the publisher. So we can use it for demo, just for demo purposes. Okay, so you can see it's quite easy. Your user just need to log in. to your remote access portal and then click on the subscribe database. So any question from anyone?
Yeah, Desmond.
Yes, Pak Iwan, yes.
Currently, what we are doing now is that we provide the students with a username and password.
User password, okay.
Yeah, so I will copy the link in the chat section.
Okay.
You can probably open that link in the chat section. So I don't know how the e-resources work on the page that you are already opening before, but here at UM we, as you can see in the, can you open the link in the chat section? In the chat section of Zoom.
Yeah. So I already opened the link. Stipadu?
Oh yeah, I think you need to log in first.
Oh.
But the point is that after you log in, of course, as a student or as a lecturer or as staff, you will have a username and password for each of the provider.
Yeah.
So currently we have to manually type that, and then we have to manually visit every provider.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so that's the system now. I mean, that's how it works at UM. So using RemoteXS, how is it different from what we do? I mean, of course, there are the element of students and lecturers. They don't have to come to the campus to access the e-resources. I mean, they can access it from anywhere to the RemoteXS website.
Correct.
But how about the authentication for the provider?
Okay.
Because
so
currently we have like the username and password for each of the provider.
Okay. So you would need to talk to your provider. So just now, like Pak A1 mentioned that for most of these publisher, you are using the username and password.
Yeah.
So you can request from them to either add in the IP authentication or change it to the IP authentication. This is for better security. So once it's either way. So if you added the IP authentication, so just now I mentioned for the remote access, we will provide an AWS IP just for the use of your university. So that is the IP that you pass on to Emperor. So once Emperor accept that IP, your student, once they log in, they just click on Emperor. They just click on Emperor, and they will come back to this page, and you can see that it will be authenticated up here by Universitas Negeri Malang, and your student can certainly use it. Okay, so that's one thing. So remote access work with IP authentication with most of the publisher, but if some publisher do not work with IP, they only work with user and password, we also can do that. So once a user log in, then they need to manually fill in the user and password. But if the publisher, just now I can see most of these publisher, they accept IP authentication. And on the second part, on the Padu, right, may I know what type of authentication is this? Is this LDAP or is this Samuel? Do you know?
Yeah, this one we are using simple SAML.
Simple?
Simple SAML. SAML.
Oh, SAML.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
but we also have like an LDAP.
LDAP as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So just for part A1, we will able to integrate so that we will integrate with your simple SAML, so that your student don't have to remember another set of password. Yeah, we can integrate it so they don't see this login page. They will see this login page, and then we will redirect the user straight to this landing page.
Yeah. There is also an additional cost for this feature, right?
This is a one-time cost. One-time cost.
Yeah, and also what do you need for this feature? I mean, for us to have this feature? What do you need from us? Do you need
yeah, we will just provide a simple form, and then we do the testing, a test account and a form for you to fill in, and then we can do the testing.
Oh yeah, maybe you need like the user and password and also the OU from the LDAP.
I know.
Correct.
Yeah.
The XML file, XML file as well. So once we get that, we should be able to do it. So we have done it for quite a number of institutions.
So because we have like two options, first is using the credentials from the RemoteXS, and the second one is using our own credentials. So we have two options, but yeah, I don't know, but maybe we have to consult first, because it means that if we are using our credentials, then maybe we are sharing the credentials with them, RemoteXS, and also with AWS maybe.
We already, I think, take on the token. So once we will depend on your authentication, and then once it's authenticated as a user, you pass on a token, and then we will allow the access. So on our side, let me show you on the dashboard. We will only keep for the user, we only keep the name, the email, and for the user category, you depend on your simple Samuel. If they have a user category, then we will capture that as well. This is more for the usage. I can show you later on the usage.
Yeah, so it means that if you are using our simple Samuel and our LDAP, for the authentication, you will, I mean, the RemoteXS will access our server, right?
Correct.
Okay, so that is an alternative for us. I think there are two options there regarding the authentication, and also about the previous topic. I mean, about the IP authentication for the provider. So I think basically now we have like two authentication, because what we currently have is that we are accessing each of the provider, each of the publisher. The one that we add in the publisher's setting, or maybe the setting in the publisher, is that we limit the IP to our IP public, our access, or IP. So that's why we can only access the resources from inside of the campus.
Understand.
So that's one IP authentication, but we also use authentication based on the credentials, the one that we get from each of the publishers. So I think that we are now using two authentications, right? Yeah, both, yeah. But if we are using RemoteXS, we also have that kind of option, right? I mean, on the IP authentication or also the using the credentials. If using only the IP authentication, then what will be shown is that the one that you are just show in your screen, the dashboard. I mean, we can choose. Can you show me again the dashboard? Yeah,
this
that one. Yeah, I mean the.
Let me go back to the landing page. Okay.
Yeah.
That
one. Yeah. So this one is IP authentication only, right? Because we don't need to provide credential for each of the.
Correct.
Yeah.
IP. So once you subscribe to RemoteXS, you just provide one extra IP, just one extra IP to all the publisher. Then your user can just use just like normal. So by IP authentication, they will be able to log in.
Yeah. So we don't have to visit each and every one of the publisher by themselves, and then we don't need to provide credential like the one that we are using now, right?
Yeah, I think it's safer that way. I think because the credentials they can, I mean, sometimes they can share. So once if you're using the RemoteXS IP authentication, then I think it's more secure that way.
Oh ya.
Yes.
Mungkin dari Bu Renzi ada yang mau ditanyakan, mungkin.
Okay, thank you, Pak Iwan, and also thank you, Desmond, for showing me the demo. I have a question though. So this is only helping us with access to all the providers.
Correct. Correct.
Will it also help getting the resources? So, like, I imagine that it would be easier if users don't have to visit all of this provider's website, and then there's a kind of service where they can type the title of the article, for example, and then it will be shown somewhere here. So they don't have to go clicking all of this one by one, but there is a search engine somewhere here. Is it possible to have something like that in this search?
So right now for remote access, we don't have such function, but we are able to integrate. So for example, if your institution have a subscription to ex-libris summon, or you have WorldCat, you have those discovery services, we will able to integrate and replace the search bar up here with the search from the discovery services. And all the disguise services also we can add up so that the student can survey click on the full text and out of campus, and then they can access to the subscribe database or subscribe journal page after they log in to the remote access. But for remote access side, we do not have such function. So we were able to integrate with discovery services, most major discovery services.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe from the IT team of the library, Mas Ilyas, Mas Nanda, ada pertanyaan nggak?
Jawaban bahasa Indonesia mungkin kalau.
Nggak apa-apa.
Tadi pertanyaannya Bu Rensi mungkin kalau sebelum Mas Nanda sama ini ya. Mungkin bahasa Indonesia. Maybe we will discuss in Indonesian first.
Oh, okay.
Iya.
Ini Mbak Wiwi juga. Ini ya saya ingat waktu kuliah dulu itu sebenarnya kalau di library itu kita tinggal masukkan itunya, judulnya ada. Kita nggak peduli dia itu mau dapat dari publisher yang mana. Nanti kan ada keluar listnya semua ya. Tadi pertanyaannya. Jadi kita kan nggak harus setiap publisher nyari. Artinya kita cari sesuai topik yang kita mau, nanti akan keluar semua artikel dari semua publisher, akan keluar buku-buku fisik maupun buku-buku yang non fisik, semua jurnal itu. Kalau seingat saya dulu gitu, Mbak Wiwi.
Ya, jadi dia bisa meramban ke semua.
Ya, semuanya.
Gitu, itu
yang kita langgar.
Memang kalau tadi yang Desmond jelaskan kan kalau dari platform RemoteXS-nya tidak ada ya Bu ya, tapi kalau seingat saya seandainya si user sudah login dari RemoteXS, lalu user tersebut misalnya engine dari mencarinya dari Google, nanti begitu keluar apa yang dicari itu otomatis yang paling di atas itu adalah akses-akses yang udah dimiliki sama UM.
Oh gitu, jadi mempermudah pencarian di Google.
Desmond, please correct me if I am wrong. What can I remember last time when we do demo with Universitas Negeri Surabaya, the trainer teach me that if the user already logged in from RemoteXS, and then when they try to searching some keywords from the Google, what the data we will found is the data that already subscribed by RemoteXS, like in above, like they will give recommendations data what they already subscribed.
That is a feature from my loss.
Not from my loss.
Yeah, not remote. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. So we have two products, Pak Iwan. The other product is My Love. The My Love, they have that kind of features. Maybe we can do the demo, a short demo about My Love, how to do what they need, what they're looking for.
Okay. Maybe I just run about like 10 minutes on the dashboard first for remote access. So this admin is more for the librarian and the IT side. So on the content is where we add your subscribe content. So when during the implementation, we'll help you to add in all the publisher. But if you have any new publisher on trial or subscribe to new publisher, you can quite easily add it. So you can put in the publisher name, the URL, and also the domain name. So all this information comes from the publisher, and you can just click on publish. So by default is IP authentication. Okay. So you can just click on publish and it will list out on the landing page. So this is for the database. And on the remote access user, so we do support the pub import user. So when doing setup implementation, we can help you to import in all your user. But just now, if we were to integrate with your university, the simple Samuel, then you don't have to worry about this part. Any user that is logged in to remote access from your simple Samuel, the system will capture and create a new account. So you take in the name, email, and also user category. Okay. So if this integration, then you don't have to worry about this one. So also there's a user group. This is where we set the user category. So normally for most of our customer, is break down by the faculty, and then for the staff, you break down by the department, the teaching staff or non-teaching staff as well. And this is the last tab is a resource group. So if you want to do some restriction, for example, for those who study engineering, they only see engineering database. So you can do that as well. For example, the chemistry department, they only see Springer Protocol, Springer and Nature. We can do that limitation as well. But the default option is that all students or all staff from all user category should see all subscribe database. So this is default. Okay. So if you have any special requirement, you can do that. So let me go back here. So the other thing I want to show is on the usage report. So this usage is users coming from remote access. It's not meant to replace all the counter statistic report that come from the publisher. For example, if I set for the last 90 days, okay, so there's 4 main report. One is the day-by-day usage report on the daily basis. You can see how many unique user login and total download. So the total download here is captured as PDF download. So it's not on the read online HTML. It's only PDF download you can capture. This is the day-by-day usage. And this is where the user category is important. So if your user category is well defined, then in this example, you can see that you can see from user category, the master student in computer engineering. All right, I can see for the past 90 days, what resources that they use. IEEE SEM EBSCO Springer, and how many users from this user category, master student in computer engineering, are downloaded and use the resources. And also I can go drill down to individual user, which student or which user from this faculty that use the most in the past 90 days as well. Okay, so we can go into very detail, and all the users here, it can be downloaded in CSV, HTML, or Excel file as well on the top right here. Okay, the third one is in the past 90 days by resources. This is by database. I can see which database have the most user, or which database that my user down the most. So in this case, it's IEEE. And I can drill down for IEEE, which user category that use the most, okay, or which user category down the most as well over here, okay, and you can export it for further analysis. So I would say like one of the main reasons that most of our customer wanted to use or subscribe to remote access is because of this usage. Okay, and the last one is the past 90 days. We'll break down by all the user that use the remote access portal. Okay. So any question on the usage report?
Can you go back to the bulk user download?
Yeah. This per user, yes.
No, I mean when we want to add users.
Oh, add user, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
here.
okay, that one.
Yes.
So this is when we want to add users. I mean, like manually, right? I mean, not using our simple sample.
If you're using the inbuilt authentication, if you're using inbuilt, this is where you add the user. So the first button here is add single user, and then over here is the bulk import by Excel file.
And I imagine you have like
kalau mau
the template
user
for
bisa pakai bulk
for each of the users, the template of the column that they have to provide. Yeah.
So the template can be downloaded here.
Oh yeah,
in Excel file. Yes.
Yeah.
And before you download import the user, so obviously it will help you during the implementation for the first batch. You have to download. So before you import all the user, you need to set the user group correct first for the user category, because for each of our customer, the way they break down the user category either by faculty or by department is different. So this our demo portal, we break it down by our sales country. So for some of customer, just now in the usage, so if I go back to the usage, okay. Okay, this is just one example. They break it down by the bachelor degree and then in what faculty, and number 22 here is probably the intake year. So the way that each of these our customer that set up the user category is different, is unique. So I would say that the first thing you must do if you're using the inbuilt authentication is to set up the user category first. So once you set up the user group here for the user category, once that is done, also you can use bulk import as well. So once you import, and then we will import in the user. Yeah. And if we were to integrate with your simple SAML, then we will pick up the user category from your system.
Because if I'm not mistaken, the user, they cannot create their own account, right? You don't have the feature for create account or
Yeah, there is. For if you're using the inbuilt, there is a function, so you can see the user pending approval here.
Oh yeah.
So in the login page, there is a place for them to register themselves. But we want the admin, the librarian also, and also IT have to set the user category correct. So there's a user pending approval. So anyone that register here, so you can click on edit, okay, and you set the correct user category here. So once you set up the user category, and then you can approve that account. So once you approve, only that user will be able to use. So this is for self-registration. All the name here.
Can you open the template for the bulk user upload? I just want to know the column. Yeah, that one. So we should also provide the user and password for each of the user, right?
The user, the system will control it so that you don't have to manage it. So let me share the file. Maybe I open to my file later. So okay. So what we need is the email, the full name. You don't have to worry on the role, the display first name and display last name, and most important is the user category. So on the column C row and column G language, you don't have to worry about these two. Okay. You just need to fill in the email, name, display first name, last name, and user category. And the system will send out an email to the user for activation, and this is where they create the user.
They can create their own credentials and password.
Correct. You don't have to get headache on that. Let the system.
So once we upload this template, and then the system will automatically send email to each of the users that we just created with the activation code and allowing them to create users and password
Correct.
for their own account.
So if I go back here on the mail log, okay. So mail log, for example, this one. Okay. Okay. So this is a sample email. Dear Mr. or Mrs. Then you give them the link to create the password. Okay. And then tell them what to do. And then also a link to the remote access user guide. So this template can be changed as well. Okay. But this will send out by user. Once we set up on the template, then they use the same template and then send out to all the users with a link to create their username and password and all. So if anyone have problem, they come back for password reset. So this example email sent out for password reset. So they will have a link to create to reset their password as well. So that the admin don't have to worry about that one. Just need to tell the user click on the password reset. Yeah.
Okay. No further question from me. Maybe from Kurensi before we continue to the other one, my log.
Here for me.
Okay. Alright. Just give me a moment, right? So if there's no more question for remote access, I move on to the second product from my log from aircraft engineering. It's called my log. Let me first open the PowerPoint.
Gak paham. Saya tidak paham.
Alright. So the product name is called My Log. So it's a acronym for My Library on Your Fingertips. So just a bit of background for remote access was created about like 9 years ago. So 9 years ago, and then the first customer I believe was the General Electrics global. So they are the one was searching for a proxy services that are able to fulfill their requirement. So this is where access came about. So after they created remote access and be promoted in Asia for the past 6-7 years, the team actually went down to talk to the customer, the librarian, most of the customer, and also the end user on the pain point that they're feeling when they are using remote access or any other proxy services out there. For example, like OpenATN, Shibboleth, or VPN, or they're using easy proxy. So just to based on their feedback, this is where they created this product. Okay, so right now we have over 1,900 institutions and 2.4 million users. So this is a combination of both remote access and MyLog worldwide. All right. So MyLog is actually an ecosystem. So it's not only just a proxy services. It covers the entire research habit of the user. Okay. So I skip through the. Okay, and some of the feedback that the user that get from the user is that they need to remember too many username and password and different way to access when they are on campus or on campus. So that's one thing. And right now there is a lot of major publisher, they come out with a lot of apps on the mobile phone. So they have to install a lot of mobile application as well. And in the case of your university, I believe that because you are providing using the username and password for off campus, then your student would need to remember it, uh, different password to access when they are on campus, especially when they are off campus. And also when they search in Google or Google Scholar, they don't really know whether the content or the journal article is accessible or subscribed by their institution. And also on the internet connection. So I think right now everyone is quite comfortable to read their email on their mobile phone. So probably not to use it to do any work, but reading is fine. So this is where some of the students would like to read the article, ebooks or journal articles from their mobile phone, even they are offline as well. And also when a lecturer find a very good article and they want to he or she want to share it with their student, so it's quite an answer for them. So right now is just copy and paste the link and send through email. So there have to be a better way. So getting all this major feedback from the user, this is where the team from aircraft engineering develop MyLove. Okay. So I'll stop right here on the PowerPoint and show you on the live demo. Okay, just close back all this page. All right. So for MyLove, on the laptop or computer, it works on the browser extension. Okay. So let me sign in. So that for MyLove right now, it works on all Chromium browser. So Chrome and also Microsoft Edge we will be able to use MyLove, but so far for Safari is not available yet. Okay. So let me turn on. All right. You can see on the top right here, there's a little symbol of MyLove. So this is the browser extension that the user, student or lecturer or staff need to install and log in once. Okay, let me log out first. So is a web app similar to Gmail or Hotmail. Everything that you do here will be synchronized to all your accounts on the mobile phone or on the tablet or on your personal computer. So let me sign out. So each of the institution will be given their own unique URL to log in. So for now, I'm using the iGroup demo account. All right. And if the student or the user are using their own personalized computer, so they need to log in once only. So similar to remote access, for MyLove, you'll be able to integrate with SAML, Active Directory as well, and also Google Sign In as well.
MyLove.
So once the user log in, you can see the little icon here will turn blue. So right now it's gray out. All right. So once I log in here, so it's a bit similar to the remote access. You can click on resources. All right. And you list out all the subscribed database here as well. And the way that the aircraft engineering team designed for MyLove is that they don't change the way how the user access the subscribed database. Okay, so what I meant is that the user, once they log in and install the browser extension and log in, they can go to the subscribe database of your institution by coming to this web app and click on this link. This is one way. Okay. Another way is that they can go to the library site, all right, and click on the link. For example, Progress Journal. Okay. And they can access right away. Whether once they install the browser extension, whether they're on campus or off campus, they can access to the library website here. All right. Or they can go to the web app to see the list of database here. And another way they can do is that they can right away go to the library to the publisher website, and you can see that I have closed the remote access page, but once I install the browser extension, I am authenticated as well. And a little bit different from remote access and also EC proxy is that for MyLove, we are using a transparent proxy. So there's no change in the URL. Okay. So this is the third way. So for some of the lecturer, they might familiar with the publisher website, they can go straight there and will be authenticated as well, as long as they install the browser extension and log in. So the fourth way also is that they can do some search here on Google Scholar, for example. All right. So I searched from some article from annual review. So once this is the function that we just now mentioned. So once the MyLove able to detect on the URL of the search result from Google Scholar, is a publisher that is subscribed by your institution, the MyLove logo will appear on the right hand side. Okay. So but this limitation, there's some limitation. For example, for annual review, maybe your institution don't subscribe to all journal, only one or two journal. But because the way MyLove detect is based on the URL, you will not able to tell which journal. So we only able to tell the user that your institution has subscription for some of the journal or ebooks from annual review. So once they click on annual review form, they are right away authenticated as well, and they can have access. Okay. So the same, if I do another search. So maybe search from Science Direct. So some of the journal article, you can see that down here, some of the deep guide that's not relating to Science Direct. You don't see the MyLove logo, but any website that the ending with the URL of Science Direct, you have a little indication that your institution has subscription to the journal or ebooks from this particular publisher. Okay. So this is on MyLove. All right. And the other thing, on additional to just now when I mentioned, just more than just a journal article or proxy services. So what you can do is that once your user find an article that they want, for example, this article. All right. So because I'm authenticated, okay, I'm able to view the full text as well. So from here, if the user click once on the MyLove logo, we will actually capture and save this article in their own MyLove account. So I save. If I go back to my web app landing page here and go to home, okay, you can see that 13 seconds ago, I saved this article on my
Oh,
account.
dicari ning my
So
love
on
iku
the
ya.
HTML account, so for example, if I open this one from NDJM, you're able to pick up the article on the HTML format and will be clutter free, and you remove all unnecessary advertisement and also graphic from here. But anything that you do with for this article will be left on. All the diagram or picture will be left here as well. And this where the student also can do some highlight. Okay, do some highlight, and also they can share it with their friends as well. If I click on the share, you just need to put in the email. For example, I share it with my colleague Guan, so I can share it as well. Okay, and they can, just now I mentioned highlight, they can do some highlight here as well. Okay, this is for the reading as well, and also they're able to listen to it. So this is one of the function of my log. And also over here, top here, you can see that the library recommendation. So apart from the spread database, you may want to suggest some site for them. For example, some open access or some to your OPEC or to any link that you want the user to do. You can set it here. And the top right here, you can see a bell button here. So this is where the library also can send alert. So you appear on the web app and also the mobile app of MyLoft. Okay, so all the similar to remote access, the user will be able to set favorite as well. Okay, set favorite of some of the database, journal, and also ebooks. Okay, any questions so far for MyLoft? So similar to remote access, if you have a discovery services, for example, like Primo, Escort Discovery, or Starman, you'll be able to integrate it here. If you do not have, then you can set the default search is either Google or you can set it Google Scholar as well.
So this will allow our users to access the providers from outside of the university as well, like remote access?
Yes, on and off. You can be inside campus or outside campus. As long as they install this browser extension, they can access it anywhere.
Okay.
And they make it very seamless, and they can save their article here as well, and you will synchronize with their tablet or with their phone as well, the phone app.
Okay, and when they share the article, they can share it to non-members of the university, or can only be shared among members of the same institution?
You can share with all, but only the, I would say only the registered user from your university will be able to access the full text. If they share it with their friends or anyone outside of the campus, or outside of the university, non-members, then they will only see the abstract.
Okay. So this is like remote access, but with extra function.
Correct. This enhanced. So a lot of our customer has been asking why aircraft engineering don't do discovery services. But as you know, for discovery services, it need a lot of resources. and all the big publisher or big publishing company already doing it. For example, like Simon and EBSCO already have a very good disguise services. So the best we can do is to integrate with it. So the other function just now I mentioned, just now Vivi mentioned, is that you can actually use Google and Google Scholar to search for the article that the student wanted, and we will give some indication on whether those articles they have full text or not. But obviously, these don't replace discovery services. But this is, it's an added on function that is good to use for most of your users.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pikir rek. Gue pikir aku rek.
What I experienced campus when I was a student.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Can I share my screen?
Yes.
Yes. I make you as a co-host. Yeah.
Oh. Just give me a minute. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
So I don't know how this works, but when I was studying at Monash, as you can see, I'm just googling for the Monash library here, and I access the. So this is the website from Monash library, right? And if I want to search for an article, whether it is a journal, a book, physical book, or etc., I just type, for example, like this. I just type the theme or the topic that I want to search without having to search in Google Scholar. So the first one that I look for is from my own library, the library of my campus. So for this one, if I search, it will give a lot of results. And if you can see from the left pane, we can click if you only want to have peer-reviewed journal as a result, if you want to have only like open access resources, or if you want to have only the result for book chapters, or if you want to have like physical books and things like that. So this is like an embedded search bar inside of the campus library. And if the resources are open access, we can immediately
download the PDF.
Download the PDF of that. There is a save as window right now in my my screen. But if we cannot find the, because I no longer as a student here. If I want to access something that is not open access, I have to sign in. I don't know what's wrong here. So I have to sign in first in the Monash system thing. Like this. So whether I'm a Monash staff or student, so I believe this is only a one-time sign in.
Per session, yes.
Yeah.
Per session is only one time.
Only
So
session.
what Monash University is?
Yeah.
So what Monash University is using, they are using Ex Libris Primo. Ex Libris Primo. So in the market there are three main, I would say four main discovery services provider. So what Monash is using right now is called Ex Libris Primo. So this under ProQuest as well actually, because now ProQuest has bought over. So under ProQuest they have another discovery services called Summon. And EBSCO have one called EDS. And OCLC have one called WordCamp. So there are four major discovery services. Obviously, they have their own plus and minus point. remote access and my log will be able to integrate with all these four. Okay, and for this question, I need to pass it back to my colleague Vivi to see which one will be able to provide to you.
Yeah, Pak Iwan, for that kind of functions, actually some publisher they have that kind of features, but usually before you subscribe that kind of platform, it require the institution need to have proxy first. So it's not only in ProQuest like Desmond say ProQuest and also ProQuest they also have but first of all, usually that kind of feature, kind of platform need require the institution have a single sign-on or proxy first.
We currently use single
It's
sign-on
like
for
a
our
different.
campus.
Yeah,
Um,
I think what Vivi said is I mean what she meant is that it works better with a proxy service, so that your user they can access to the article wherever they are. It's not only on campus, off campus they can use it as well. And this kind of services is always good because I can see that you have more than 10 database right now. And discovery services will be one of the function. Obviously, I think Vivi you can provide you with a proposal for the discovery services, and together with the remote access and my log as a proxy services as well, because all these work hand in hand. Yeah.
okay, not.
Yeah, so there are extra features, there are extra applications that you need to.
Yeah, it's a different application, but hand in hand. Yeah. So what Monash here is using is Primo.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for your information, we can't sell Primo in Malaysia
Yeah.
because it's a Israeli company, so we don't sell it. So most of the time over here we sell Taman and EBSCO.
Yeah, because as far as I know, I think as far as I can remember, the search in this library also includes resources for books, either that is online books, I mean e-book, or physical book from other libraries. So that's why I suspect this is maybe like the government of Australia's initiation. I mean,
No.
yeah,
This
no,
this is this
only
is
for Monash, yeah.
yeah, only for Monash. So just like I mentioned, one of the features of the discovery services is for the user to able to search the either the e-resources and also the print resources owned by the library. So there's two sides to it. So for the electronic side, obviously, like for example, Monash. So Monash just need to let the Primo know what database they subscribe, and then they will add in all the catalog. But for the print side is where the librarian have a heavy duty to work with Primo to put in all your catalog, to put it inside the system. So then there is an additional system as well. One is to search for open access, and also you can search for article or content that is not subscribed by the database. So you can see refine my search on the top right. If you don't include record with full text, which means it's searching outside the library as well. Because for Primo, they have all the database, all the catalog content, and also metadata from all publishers. So you can search beyond your library as well. So this is part of the function of the discovery services.
Yeah, we can search them, but we cannot download them because we don't
have
access. Yeah, because the campus don't have access to that. Yeah,
correct.
Because I also use like an interlibrary loan there.
Yes.
Yeah, because when I search for a book, so this is a physical book, right?
Mm.
It turns out that the book is in, for example, is in Perth University. I can use the interlibrary loan to loan that book, and that book will be sent from Perth University to Monash University. But it takes time, like 2 weeks or maybe like 3 weeks, then I can have that book.
Yeah. So I think the other thing that Primo is doing with the Australian university is that most of all the university, right, they give their OPEC to Primo.
Oh, yeah.
So that they can search, for this particular book. If it's not in Monash, it may be in other universities for
Other library.
But this one needs some cooperation, because like in the case of Indonesia, then you might need all other Indonesia to
using
give
the same
OPEC.
resource.
If not, it won't work for interlibrary.
Yeah.
Mhm. You're correct, but I think once we all work out, then it works very beautifully.
Yeah, maybe we can further discuss with Wiwi about that, about Primo and how we use RemoteXS at my lab, I think.
Yeah. So for most of the customer, obviously the first priority of the party is to get more resources, and then move on to proxy, and then move on to discovery services. Yeah.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're saying that in order to get such service like this one, I mean, this is not just in Monash, but in a lot of international universities, you search and then you can get everything that you have in your database. You need layers of applications, so not just one application, but you need different kind of things to make it happen.
Yeah, because beneath what Part A1 is showing on this discovery services, beneath it there's few other this application that's working. So one is the proxy services, because if you are using this Primo outside of the campus, then they have to link it with their proxy services to the full text. And then the other one is called link resolver. So link resolver is another application, but that comes along with the discovery services. What link resolver do is that once you do a search, it will actually link up to the journal article level, because depends on the publisher. Sometimes they will change the URL or they move things around. Link resolver is an application that makes sure that the link doesn't end up there. So if they click, then they say a website has been moved or changed, right? So sometimes that happens. So link resolver is an application that works together. And just now when Part A1 click on the one of the open resources and is able to download the full text, right? There's actually another application that is called LibKey. LibKey is another application. So if you go subscribe to LibKey, then you can only get a link to the open access article. It won't right away download the PDF. LibKey is the application that allows you from this page, first page, you can right away download the PDF. So there's a few applications. so it's not so straightforward. So what has done here, they have integrate a few other applications, and also just now when you mentioned the interlibrary loan, so they added up a few features that make it their discovery service work very well. Yeah.
Yeah, and the interlibrary loan is probably a little bit complicated, but the other stuff we should have.
You should have. I mean, if you subscribe to it, then you will get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So maybe, but maybe you can make a proposal. And it's great because now the IT team of the university has Pak Iwan as well, who has the experience of studying abroad. So he knows the concept of searching for books and articles in the library. So yeah, we can propose this to the university, both the IT and the library. Yeah.
Yeah, I just texted
Well,
to CV, and I think maybe we will have further discussion maybe. But I think
yeah.
Bu Wiwi should contact Bu Nurensia Yanuar directly. Maybe if we have another meeting, then you can invite.
Yeah, maybe for the next discussions, I will try to introduce the platform that what Burensi looking for when put on I mean sign in one platform and type some keywords and directly meet all the keywords that need subscribed by institutions. And after that, I can give actual proposal, pricing, and etc.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, that will also depend on the budget as well. Just to be realistic, yeah, we need to know
okay.
the budget.
Yeah.
But let's see. In my vision, it has to be better. The way to access the books and e-journals in the university has to be better than what we have now. So this is the goal, the one like in Monash and other world university has. But worst case scenario, at least it's something like remote access, because we need to make our students able to access the content of the library from home, yeah. So they don't have to come to the university to have access.
Yeah, well, I think all of us here on the call, we agree that we have to maximize your investment because you subscribe to the content, especially electronic content is supposed to be accessible 24/7, right? So
Yeah, if it is
now,
only from campus, then it's only eight hours a day.
yes. So some limitation there. So we want to maximize the whatever we spend, every single dollar we spend on the content. Yes, correct. We can have to do that.
Okay.
So if there's no further question, I will say thank you again for inviting us. I'm sorry because I'm the product manager for aircraft engine product. So maybe we'll get get another call with our publisher of Discovery Services to give you another demo of the Discovery Services.
Thank you, Desmond.
Thank you,
Marie.
Thank you.
Thank you Bu Rensi, thank you Pak Iwan dan semua
Okay,
tim Pustaka
thank you.
yang sudah hadir. Thank you very much Desmond for your time.
No problem. I'm happy to share. I'm happy to share. Thank you.
Ya, Bu Rensi dan Pak Iwan nanti kita akan komunikasikan buat diskusi selanjutnya ya, G.
Boleh.
Nanti akan saya jadwalkan kembali. Ini libur nggak Bu besok?
Ini besok dan Kamis libur.
Kamis libur.
Saya Jumat sih
Berarti
masuk.
yang masuk Jumat. Atau Senin aja kali ya, Senin atau Minggu
Boleh,
depan saya
Senin
jadwalkan
bisa.
kembali ya.
Tergantung Bu Rensi aja, saya ngikut aja. Bu.
Ya, oke.
Baik, nanti saya informasikan kembali melalui WhatsApp ya Bu ya, baru chat WhatsApp.
Oke.
Ya.
Siap. Saya mengucapkan terima kasih sekali lagi atas kesempatannya. Mohon maaf jika ada yang kurang berkenan atau yang salah. Saya akhiri diskusi tentang remote accessory ini. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih.
Salam.
Thank you. Take care.
Saya end meeting deh. Izin.